Hello again. Today I want to go a little bit more into the different types of ebooks, the different options that you have and choices, and what sort of worked for me and what hasn't. So really, for the most part, there are four places that are on my own personal radar. There are a number of places that you can sell your books as ebooks, but there are four places that I've seen that work in a way. Well, actually, in a way, five. I'm going to name five of them. The first one is obvious: Amazon. They've been extremely supportive to independent publishers. You can write your book, and they will actually help you get it set up on Kindle. It's about the easiest one, and it's the largest one. It used to be that the largest company was the hardest to get into. Now it's the largest one is the easiest one to get into. So in a way, there's an argument to be made as to why to just be on that, but more on that in a moment. Then there's Smashwords. You go to there, and they're going to have instructions and a great booklet on how to make your book work as an ebook, but it's much more complicated. Well, Amazon, the Kindle, for the most part, will just say, okay, upload it here, and we'll translate a whole bunch of the stuff. On Smashwords, you have to go through a lot of their system to get everything formatted just right. But once you get it done, then it becomes available on Barnes & Noble, Apple, just like a whole bunch of different sites. So it becomes available, and on Smashwords' own site. That's why, for the most part, those are your two main places: Amazon or Amazon Kindle, and Smashwords, which will then make it available everywhere else. The disadvantage of that second one is you do wind up, available in places like Barnes & Noble and Apple, but then what's crazy is these places are struggling to keep up with Amazon, but for us independent authors, they don't really provide any services to sort of help you out. In fact, actually may make you go through a whole bunch of steps, and just the very fact that you have to go through Smashwords to get to them rather than them having their own system. You can't go to Barnes & Noble and go through a system of theirs to make your book an ebook. You have to go to Smashwords and go through their whole process, and then you have to be accepted by Barnes & Noble. Same with Apple. You can't just go to them. You have to go to Smashwords, and then it has to be accepted by Smashwords, then by Apple, and you just wind up having all of this all of these steps, which is kind of unusual because, like I said, they're struggling to keep up with Amazon, but yet Amazon is the easiest one to get on. But anyway, all right, so those are the two main ones. You would also have a place called Scribed, which is a very well set up place. For the most part, you just make your PDF and you upload it there, or you also have an ebook, an EPUB copy. That's it. It's Mobi and EPUB are the two main types or formats, book formats to go up. I believe Mobi is the one for Amazon and or for Kindle, and EPUB is the one for the others. Look that up to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, so you can do a couple of different types on Scribed, and it's well set up and well formatted. And if you want to go in to buy books, there's a lot of independent books there. The problem is I don't find a lot of sales there. Other people have had it working better. I haven't quite figured out how to get a lot of sales on there, but it's well formatted, so I've sort of had that be my representative of the other type that I occasionally use. And there's also a place called Drive-Through Fiction, which is really, it's sort of genre specific. For the most part, the things that are on there, the types of books and short stories that are on there are science fiction, fantasy, that sort of thing. It's called Drive-Through Fiction. So if you can put nonfiction on there, but I don't know if a lot of people are going to a place called Drive-Through Fiction to buy their nonfiction. In fact, I've never sold a single copy of my nonfiction on there, but I have sold a number of fiction, or most of it has been free giveaways, and people have downloaded free things, so it's kind of more of a way to spread the word. But what's really good about Drive-Through Fiction is they give you some really great promotional opportunities. As the longer you're on there, the more you get what's called publisher points. And those publisher points can be then used to create banners, to create advertisements, et cetera, et cetera. And so you can kind of get more and more well-known on there. So anyway, I'll go into the advantage on all of those here in a moment. And then the last thing I would say is your website. Have a website that goes along, especially if you have a series, have a website for that series. I have Relic Worlds, relicworlds.com, which has, all the short stories, the novels, etc., have a central location where people can go and get those stories, and that sort of thing. The way they work, the website, of course, is where people get to kind of know you, but of course they don't necessarily know that site until they found you somewhere else. Drive Through Fiction, as I said, it's great with the advertisements, but people I've had real trouble getting people to actually purchase things there, but not in terms of just downloading. So I recommend that for getting people just to know your stuff. Sort of the same with Scribd. I've never had a sale on Scribd, but occasionally there's some downloads, especially people will sort of experiment and test on there. It's kind of like a place where people kind of go to look at some new artists, that sort of thing. The real issue comes down to, okay, are you going to go with Smashwords and or with Kindle? You have to go with at least both of them, if not on just the Kindle alone. That's really where the question comes. Now, you'd probably look at it and go, well, why wouldn't you just have it on both? Well, the reason is because Kindle offers a lot of promotional opportunities if you go exclusively with them. I'm not actually going to name them here because they change quite often, and by the time you see this video, it's probably changed. Hell, it's probably changing tonight. They keep working to make it work for you because they understand the more you sell, the more money they make. This is a basic concept that Barnes & Noble has yet to figure out, and it baffles my mind how these people can't figure that out. Same with Apple. They certainly never help the independent authors. And what's amazing is that Barnes & Noble actually makes it more difficult. I have had more difficulty trying to work with Barnes & Noble to get ebooks up, to get physical books up. It's just almost like they try to set up, it's kind of like they're trying to remind you, hey, we're the big dogs and you're the little ones, and so you're going to have to jump through these hoops. And I keep losing patience with them and going, you know what? Actually, a lot of the time, I would jump through those hoops and I'd find, 2 or 3 sales to 100 Amazon sales. And I'm just like, why am I jumping through your hoops when you don't sell anywhere near as many? And then I hear people at Barnes & Noble and some of these other companies just complaining, oh, Amazon's stealing our business, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? They know how to do business, and they recognize that the more they help independent authors, the better they do. And that's why they're ahead. That's why they're kicking everybody's butt, because they recognize the value of independent publishers and independent authors. They support them, they help them, and they constantly put things up asking how they can improve their services. They're constantly sending me emails. In fact, it almost gets annoying. They send so many emails saying, how can we improve? What can we do to help you sell more books? And so that's why ultimately I actually have turned a number of my sales to being exclusively with Amazon, because if they're going to give me more promotional opportunities if I'm exclusive with them, then that's what I'm going to do. And it pains me to say that, because Smashwords itself is run by a very wonderful guy, Jim Coker, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Anyway, it's someone who really cares about independent authors and independent publishers. This is a guy who deserves a medal from all of us, because this guy has dedicated his life to trying to make it work and trying to help us. And he actually sends out messages asking, and his company sends out messages asking how they can improve their services. And unfortunately, the answer is get Barnes & Noble off their asses, get Apple off their asses, get these companies off their butts to help us promote our books better. And if they're not going to do it, well, Amazon's the way to do it. And frankly, I've actually gotten to putting so many of my books, I'm going to put most of them at this point, as exclusively on Amazon, because I'm getting 10 sales or less on all of Smashwords, which includes Barnes & Noble, Apple, and Kobo, and all of these other places, all combined, and the Smashwords site itself, as opposed to several hundred on Amazon. This isn't brain surgery here. This is very obvious why it's happening. And then, to get on the Barnes & Noble shelves, it's like, it takes hours and hours and hours of work, and they jump you through so many hoops, and then they oftentimes still reject you, or they don't get back to you. It's sort of like, well, are you really good enough for us? And we as independent writers now can just say, are you good enough for us? Because we can go to Amazon and sell more copies there anyway, regardless. So, with all total due respect to Jim Coker, and I really hope that Smashwords works, because it's a great service for independent authors and independent publishers. But I've got to be able to sell books, so I've really been focusing on that. So, but the thing is, when you go exclusive with Amazon, you can't go to any of the others, so you can't even have it on your own site. So the best way to do it is have something on Amazon that's exclusive that will get the biggest amount of sales, and then have other things elsewhere. Like, for instance, I have short stories on all of the other places, my own website, Drive Through Fiction, Scribed, and even Smashwords. I keep forgetting that name, sorry. My apologies to Jim Coker, especially if I'm mispronouncing his name. But anyway, I do those to kind of get the attention, and then I have the book on sale on Amazon with all the promotions. To me, that's sort of the closest thing to working. I still haven't made it completely work. I'm not exactly living off of what I make from my books yet, but that seems to be the closer thing to working. So take for whatever it's worth. Hopefully, by the time you get this, Smashwords will be every bit as good, and this information won't be useful. But for now, my things are mostly going to Amazon. They've been really, really supportive. So keep reading those independent books, and thank you for watching.